Hi, welcome to my tube. My name is Margie. I'm a Hilk empath, and I just like having these little talks to the way I feel about things. I had my bandana on. I'm like, just freaking you're gonna have to get used to it. It's not quite what I had in the picture in my mind. It's different, but I don't care. I don't care. It's still fluffy. Look, Aaron, it's still fluffy. Give it a week, man. My hair grows so fast. I'm too much of a hothead. I tried. I did. I didn't succeed. I tried. Maybe when I start going by Margaret in about 25 years, that's when I'll get my sense. Because I think your intuition is in your hair. And, well, I'm Heoka. I only have half sense, so. Anyway. Because the rest is all intuitive. I want to give credit where credit's due. Pretty significant page. I've been tracking their stuff for a while. Their clever endeavor, their own little spark. They came up with this idea, made a tube. Their tube's bigger than mine, man. They got like 47, 48K. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, they shared one of my videos, and my stats popped, so to speak. They popped. So, like, usually every 48 hours, 100 people or so watch my stories, listen to my talks. They'll come in, stop by, stop through, see what I'm about. Nah. Usually people pick things up that are that they're receptive to, and then they put it down. But hey, at least people check me out, That's all I want them to. I know the stuff I say makes sense. I ain't even tripping about that, When I'm a teacher, and when the students are ready, they'll find me. So, I wanted to talk a little bit today. I made some notes, but I wanted to talk because I'm so excited about, the prospect. Then I have to remember to stay in place and to stay grounded, and that today is the only day I'm living. Because that's when my mind, I was going over my chart. I'm learning more about me, and as I recommend all spirits do. And I got Cancer in my first and my second house. I got Leo in my third. I'm just like, oh my gosh. No wonder I can't hardly stand myself. I don't know. The Leo in the third is what I'm talking about more specifically. It's like, because their shadow aspects are the things that I recognize in me, and I do not like in other people. Anyway, I just want to thank Don't Drink Kool-Aid for sharing me. Appreciate that. See, because I don't monetize, and I won't monetize, and because I come from a heart space that you're recommended by your peers. You're just recommended, I mean, yeah, I tell people I make videos and stuff just to see how I'll be received, what kind of heart space we're coming from, and there's tubes, like I tried to watch him this morning, the Leo cub, because cubs can't be kings. I tried because I listen to people I don't necessarily like as people I'd want to hang out with, but if they got it, and I can't get past my ego that I see in him. Yeah, to be honest, I can't. It's just all white noise, And he totally blew me off in the chat because I was like, hey, I was just vibing, I'm like, and I looked on his page too. That's the thing, is I look for the rules. I look for the disclaimer. Because if it would have said, don't tell people that you have a channel on my page. But I guess, he wasn't in the mood for me to tell people. And and that Sky Priestess chick, she did the same thing. So that just tells me maybe your heart space isn't as high vibrational as the impressions that you're putting out. But when people start reading that, they'll figure it out. Energy never lies. So doing too much. Trying to be present, stay where my hands are. Very, very, very significant person. Taught me that life lesson along the way. Started about 20 years ago. Longer than that. God. Put the time together, man. 25, 20, God. Fast forward. From then to now. From now back to then. Wow. We worked together. Strong, divine, feminine. Balanced in her power, in her truth. Yeah. And if she wasn't, she sure as fuck was not gonna let gonna let anybody else know. Anyway, Aries too. Aries, first Aries sun, yeah. So, I never had an older sister. Have 0.5 younger, not too close in frequency. Or geography. So, she's always. So I like to respect people's privacy. So, I don't know. I don't think I feel comfortable saying her name. How about just rock? ROC. Only rock I like. Little too much for ROCK. Just like Reading. People from Reading don't use the G. They drop the G. You're just from Reading. Anyway, sometimes less is more. So, Doing Too Much, she used to say that to her children. And her children were willful. Still are. Hope they're learning their lessons. Sometimes you gotta be disciplined, and not always, but sometimes you gotta cooperate. Not impose your will so much. Let things happen more. But, we're all just trying to figure it out. So the kids would start getting going, and she would just stop. Just be like, stop! Don't address them, whatever, just to get there. And she's like me, from the diaphragm. Kids don't get lost in a crowd if you can freaking yell. And they, come on, time to go, let's go. Or whistle. Whistles are good, too. I got a loud whistle. I found my whistle a couple years ago. I was like, fucking shit. The dog woke up. Was like, what? Anyway, you're doing too much. And to me, broken down, I didn't even figure out until years later what that meant. I was just like, I thought it was just like their way of saying slow down, and it is. Also, what it is I do that because I'll think about 6, 7 things at one time, 5 things. I'll think about where I am now. Like right now, I got about 15 minutes before I start making. From the time Mom is up, she's up and usually up and around about an hour before she starts getting hungry. So give her an apple. I'm going to start a talk. I'll talk for hopefully 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Not too long. Get her breakfast, start my day. But I start thinking about all the things. Like, I could be in last night with the excitement of the spark of the flash of my pop of my vibe of my tube. My tiny tube grew a little bit. It just, that spark, like attracts like. And I've always had the heart space that as soon as people start seeing my videos, that's like when my hiatus is over and I get to step out into the rest of into the new 5D Earth, and then create a reality that is full of wonder and freaking good vibes. We got work to do first, because the same radio song, that same song played again a couple nights ago. It's the same song. It's a freaking terrible song. And not all songs are good. I love music, but God, man, some songs, like some people's intros and stuff on their talks, I'm like, fast forward, I can't even hear this song. I'm just like, it's nails on a chalkboard. It's frequency. It doesn't vibe with me. And we are all just chemistry. And we're just a frequency in the space in between our atoms and molecules. We're just that vibration, and the sum of all parts of us put together creates this harmonic convergence. But you have 51% of the Earth's population that are vibing in these low frequency, these low freaking tunes, and then 49% that are trying to freaking vibe higher, sing higher, get the octaves higher, and there's this freaking it ain't harmonic convergence, man. Did I just break things down for people in a simple way? I hope so. That's what I try to do. So people, once they come into more balance in themselves, and they'll find that tune, man. They'll find their tune. You'll find your own little ditty. And you'll add that to the world, to the orchestra, man. I was freaking dancing down the street yesterday, like run dancing. I'm like, I almost felt like freaking Ren in Footloose in the warehouse. You know, I gotta be careful because I got bad ankles and stuff. I can be run dancing and I can be falling down too, rolling down the hill. I'll come back and show you freaking rocks in my knees. So it's important with all this energy shift and changing, you know, that I maintain my daily practices and disciplines, and I encourage other people to find theirs. Just things that you do every day, no matter what, no matter how big you get. You know, it's kind of interesting. I've been meaning to talk to this Rogan. He's got a tube. His tube is fucking huge. So I think about the vibe, all the vibe. His same freak tribe, which is actually at the opposite end of the spectrum from mine. He just got a freaking $100 million deal to give his little talks about how he feels about things. $100 million from Spotify. But he's lost all creative. Maybe he says that he has it, you know. Maybe they're going to give him, oh yeah, you can talk, you know, oh, you got free creative reign, because, you know, egos like that, you got to have the control and freedom to do what you want, you know. But still, $100 million, you are still signing the back of that paycheck and not the front, so you will still have to be subservient in some kind of manner, you know. And I saw later in an ad somewhere in a far off obscure little title in the, you know, that said that he said he felt dirty. He said that $100 million Spotify deal felt dirty. I could not accept that much money, I don't think. Even with my even if I gave 51% of that away, I mean, that is just like, when companies have that much money and there's still cracks and homeless people on the street, I don't fucking want to work with companies like that. I don't even have their fucking apps on my phone. I've never had Spotify. It makes me feel dirty to use PayPal because freaking Muskrat started that. If somebody looks like a rat and he looks like a rat to me, they're probably a fucking rat. You know, hey, I love rats in the animal kingdom. But when people mimic them, it's universe telling you, you know. And he's got his high points too, but shit, man. Who the fuck gets to put the garbage in landfill in space just because you got a fucking science project? You got an A when you were a kid, so you got out of control, and nobody, you know, see, people egos like that, they aren't told no. You know, all you have to do is have a lot of money. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can make life, you can take life. It's all about control, and we're seeing it by the same nasty tune that was played in George, on George's behalf. It's always been played. It's control. You can call it race, you know. You can base it on the shade of people's skin. In the winter, I'm white. In the summer, I ain't. I'm pale, actually. I'm pale in the winter. Never white. Never white. It's all about how you vibe. It has nothing to do with the shade of your skin. Because, you know, people can be very dark in color and low in vibrational frequency and shit on their neighbors just like anybody else of lighter shade. It has nothing to do with shade. It's low vibrational. It's control. You know, I'm going to wrap up on this with George. I read people, so I watch the clip. I can't watch a lot of clips because I will go into George and I will feel George and I will choke like George. So I can also go into the heart space of the officer that did it. And when trauma happens, I don't care if it's happening to you or you are doing it, your spirit rises so you can take a good look at yourself. And the man that did it, oh, I bet he's so sorry. I bet he's so sorry, because I bet he I could tell that he felt the weight of the density of the vibration of the situation. He could feel every thought. He was just not even in his body at that point, and I'm verified by that. He didn't know what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, but it's like when you get in a car accident and everything slows down and stops. Time stopped for him, and I think Maja is talking about time stopping. And there are situations, I've had plenty of situations where time has stopped. It happens in trauma. It happens in not just trauma. It's the same vibration of the most momentous and wonderful high vibrational occasions of your life too. Happens on weddings days. Ask how many. That's why I'm like, why the fuck do people even care about planning their wedding? Because you ask every single wife about how their wedding day was, and they all say, "Oh, it's a blur." Because your vibration is so high from all the planning and just being excited, and it's so high that you don't cognitively. You'll remember a detail here and there, but you're not gonna, you're just enjoying the experience. So all the planning, fucking, why don't friends plan your wedding? Your friends know you better. Just maybe that's if I ever get married, maybe that's what I would do. Is that I probably have to become reacquainted with my friends, because I've changed quite a bit since then. But my heart space is still the same. So thank God for these freaking soul sisters and brothers and same freak tribe that we've met along the way. Thank God for them. These earth angels that establish these freaking life lessons in us. Just like, be where your hands on, slow down. You're doing too much. Her voice rings in my head probably about every day. When I start doing too much, because that's when accidents happen and that's when people get hurt. I just went to go plug the lights on to do this talk, and like I had my leg in the blanket, and I got up and I flipped over and I moved really fast, and like my leg was in the blanket, and I was like, oh, so that's how legs break, just not being careful, and just like not when you're sitting on a branch, don't cut it on the same side as you. If you're trimming a tree, stuff like that. It's just like people just make mistakes, and hopefully they're going to be able to make them, where they're going to be able to stick around to make some more. Because God knows I've done it, man. Oh, I've made some of it. Lucky to be alive. It's amazing I didn't perish. I did make notes today, but I think I just lost my place. How about better and worse? Because we're full spectrum. I make these notes and then I'm like, people that I think that I'll save that one for later. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.